There could be several possible solutions to the death penalty. However, I will discuss two in particular: abolishing it or keeping the death penalty. Both sides have arguments which are very valid. For abolishing it, the reason to abolish it is because some people feel it is unjust to kill someone, even if the person who killed anyways. This ethical theory would also state that it just doesn't make sense for an eye for an eye. This ethical theory would also state that there's also like an overcrowding population in jails. A death penalty death would takes up to 12 years to actually finish off and kill the person. However, the other side of the argument would be to keep the death penalty. This side of the argument would state that some people that we could fix the jail problem by building more jails. Having more prisons or jails built may solve this problem, but the death penalty effectively drops draining money from the taxpayers to house murderers. These murderers still get 3 100 deals a day, they do nothing all day, and they have a place to sleep just because the taxpayers fund these facilities. In my opinion, the best possible solution is to keep the death penalty, and here's why. The death penalty will surely bring a mental closure and fresh beginnings to the family of violent crime. This includes the innocent children who are in some cases robbed of a loving parent or parents at the hands of an evil murderer. The victims' families are experiencing severe grief and stress because of the loss of a family member. The subject of the death penalty will arise when there is a loss of human life, particularly in the way in which oppression human life is eliminated. To see or know that there is a humorous killer allowed to go free or even spend life in prison seems like the killer is getting away with murder. It does not seem like justice at all. 7 out of 10 families says they have struggled to live their lives normally without the feeling that the monster who have killed their loved ones is living in a normal life, according to deathpenalty.com. Pro-deathpenalty.com, excuse me. Professor Van de Haag, a psychoanalyst and adjunct professor at New York University, had this to say: "I hold life sacred. I feel that anyone who takes someone's life should know that thereby he forsakes his own." The second reason, as I've previously stated regarding solutions, would be the overcrowded population in jails. This could easily be fixed if we're talking about the best solution. The easy solution would be building more jails. Having more prisons or jails built may help solve this problem, but the death penalty effectively stops draining more money from the taxpayers. The third problem I want to talk about: the people who are on death row come from all types of race. It has nothing to do with race. The national death row population is 3,525,555, split with 3,477 men. Excuse me, not 3,525 people, with 3,477 being men and 48 being women. The ethnicity is much more varied. There are 1,610 whites, 1,490 African Americans, 344 Latinos, 39 Native Americans, 41 Asians, and 1 unknown, since August 5, 2013, according to deathrowstatistics.com. The total executions since 1976 are 870, which seems to be a lot, but in all reality it is a small number compared to the 3,525 inmates still on death row. Regardless of their race, they should be killed if they committed a murder. With the statistics above, it proves that any race can be put to death on death row. So there should be no problem of putting them to death. Lastly, with the best solution: the death penalty has proven that it is a clear deterrent to a murderer planning to kill someone. According to Heritage.com, numerous studies published over the past few years using panel data sets and social science techniques are demonstrating that the death penalty saves lives. Panel studies observed a few things. They observed multiple units over several periods. The addition of multiple data collection points given the result of capital punishment panel studies substantially more credibility than the results of studies that only have single before and after intervention murders. Using a panel set of over 3,000 counties from 1977 to 1996, professors Hashim Desbagh, Paul R. Rubin, and Joanne M. Shepard of Emory University found that each execution, on average, results in 18 fewer murderers. Using state-level panel data from 1960 to 2010, professors Desbagh and Shepard were able to compare the relationship between execution and murder incidents before, after, and during the Supreme Court's death penalty moratorium. They found that the execution had highly significant negative relationship with the murder incidents. Separately, Professor Shepard analysis of monthly data from 1977 to 1999 found that three important findings. First, each execution on average is associated with 3 fewer murders. The deterred murders include both crimes of passion and murders by inmates. Second, executions deter the murder of whites and African Americans. Each execution prevents the murder of 1 white person, 1.5 African Americans, and 0.5 persons of other races. Third, shorter waits on death row are associated with increased deterrence. For each additional 2.75-year reduction in the death row wait until execution, 1 murder is deterred. In summary, these studies that I'm stating have confirmed what we have learned decades ago. Capital punishment does in fact save lives. Each additional execution appears to deter between 3 and 18 murders. While opponents of capital punishment allege that it is unfairly used against African Americans, each additional execution deters the murder of 1.5 African Americans. Further moratorium, community sentences, and death row removals appear to increase the incidence of murder. If the recent evidence of deterrence is shown to be correct, then opponents of capital punishment will face an uphill struggle. If each execution is saving lives, the harm of capital punishment would have to be great to justify its abolition, far greater than most critics have herefore alleged. To conclude why I've just told you this is the best solution, I've just shown you why the death penalty should not be abolished. Why would we want to get rid of something that just is not broken? It does not make so much sense. The death penalty has been proven to be a useful and fair tool in the justice system, and it gives us a society that is only just with the death penalty. Thank you.